Here we have a worksheet called insertDelete, and sometimes you need to expand the worksheet by adding new data. Here we decided to add a new column for the employee ID. So we want to add this column to the left of the building column and right of the employee name column. When we add columns in Excel, we use a feature called Insert. The column would appear to the left of a selected column. We can access this feature by using the Home tab in the ribbon, Cells group, Insert, Sheet, Columns. When you do this, a new column appears to the left and the other data gets moved to the right. We'll insert employee ID and then add that data. So it's easy to add a column. If we no longer need a column and want to remove it, say the benefits column, then we can go to column G. When working with columns and rows, the other thing we can do is to use the right mouse button and click on the column we want. To insert a column, just select Insert, otherwise Delete. The terms used for adding and removing columns and rows are Insert and Delete. So we'll delete column G. Once deleted, the data to the right moves left. Sometimes we'll want to add rows. When working with a database list, you'll normally add information at the bottom, but sometimes you might want to insert from within. If we wanted to add John Ashton and put it in alphabetical order, it's going to go above row 5. So when we insert a row, it will appear above the current selected row. We may right-click and choose Insert. It doesn't say row or column, but assumes that because we selected the whole row, we will insert a new row. This may not have been such a good idea in this worksheet as it has data on the right. We don't want this other data to be broken up, as it's happened here. So we can press Ctrl Z to undo. However, if we really do want to add a record here, instead of inserting a row, we can insert cells. So we'll highlight the data here, and by right-clicking inside the selected data, we can choose Insert. But this will shift all the cells from row 5 down. This will happen only in columns A to H, but it won't affect the data on the right. So we'll click OK, shift the cells down, and add the name John Ashton. Another concern when inserting cells, rows or columns is the effect it might have on formulas. In row 7 there are formulas for this data. It refers to the data in rows 2 to 6, adding up the data there. If we insert cells above this, because we want to push the data down, right-click to insert, or maybe from the ribbon Insert Cells, shift these cells down and click OK. The formulas which had referred to cells 2 to 6 now refer to rows 3 to 7. So no need to worry when you insert and delete rows and columns and cells, because Excel makes the adjustment to the formulas. If you change your mind later on, if we delete these cells, you can move the cells up. So right-click, delete, shift the cells up, click OK, so then the formula is readjusted and refers to rows 2 to 6 again. So it's very simple to insert rows and columns. Sometimes you might want to insert 2 or more rows or columns at the same time. We may want to add more information here, like phone numbers or social security numbers. We may want to add 2 new columns. So if we drag across 2 columns here and right-click and insert, we'll see 2 new columns to the left of column D. So the other data will shift 2 columns to the right, and we'll have 2 new columns this way. If later we want to remove 2 columns at once, we could drag across these 2 cells here. Right-click and delete, and the 2 columns will vanish. So this is a very easy to use feature. Even if you delete the wrong row or wrong column, just use Ctrl Z to undo the action. And this feature is something you will be using to arrange how the worksheet looks.